Welcome to another wine review. Today we have for you the Bogle. It's an essential red. It consists of Cabernet Sauvignon, Durif, Syrah, and Old Vine Zinfandel. Most notably, the Old Vine Zinfandel. The Old Vine Zinfandel originates back from like 1857 when it was first grown in northern Napa, California. So it's pretty interesting that we have a blend like this today. You know, these roots have been rooted for over 100 years, supposedly. That's the Old Vine Zinfandel. The Durif is also from an American viticultural area, and it has its roots in American history as well. So very unique blend. The Cabernet Sauvignon and the Syrah are just your typical grapes. It's not part of an American viticulture area. So let's dive right into it. It was bottled in December. Actually, it started its fermentation process in December 2013, I believe, and finally released in January 2015. So it's about a year and 10 months old. So let's take a whiff of the glass. I noticed that when it's dried out like this, after a couple sips, it brings out different aromas. So it kind of smells like molasses. There's a peppery hint to it, and maybe some oily vanilla. Okay, let's pour it, shall we? Too fancy. I don't have my little towel that I can put on my forearm right now, but usually you air it out, but we're not gonna oxidize it that much, right? They say it brings out the flavors and whatnot, but I think this is the best way to drink it, because the more it oxidizes, the more antioxidants that you release. So looking at it, it's a deep red. You can't even see through it. It's pitch black. Damn, it's pretty dark. So let's take a sip. I like a heavy sip. That way I can bring in more oxygen and release those flavonoids and bring out the bouquet. Not much of a bouquet in this wine. So it's sweet. It has a high alcohol content. It's about 13.5. That's a little bit high for my taste. I like it maybe 12 and below. Unless it's like an ancient wine or something like that, then you know it's forgiven. But I think the cool thing about this is, yes, it is from ancient vines. You know, we got some really rare grapes in here. It's pretty nice that we're experiencing, you know, the minerals and everything that's captivated in those grapes from those roots. So it has history more than anything. That's what I find attractive in it. But also the high acidity in it. It's not too bad. It's well balanced. But I think with this kind of a bottle, you can actually let it sit in your cupboard and let it age with time. So I might buy another bottle and just have it sit there and maybe open it like, you know, 2 or 3 years later. But I doubt that I'll do that. So let's enjoy another sip. It's definitely very smooth. It's pepper, vanilla, maybe even a little boysenberry, hint of boysenberry. Man, I wish they made these wines with less alcohol. I think it would bring the grape structure out a little bit more. But either way, definitely enjoyable. Very high alcohol content. So I graded this wine out of 10 points at a 6.5 Now, if you ever have questions on my grading system, just let me know. I can post things up on YouTube. That way, you can have your questions answered or anything like that, and maybe even refine my system a little bit. But I gave it a 6.5. Again, high alcohol content, which is good for some people, not for me. I wish I could. I think you need to let this wine sit in your cupboard just a little bit longer so it can grab more of that berry scent and maybe lower the acidity level so you can actually enjoy it a little bit more. But there's a lot of potential in this bottle. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed my review of Bogle Old Vines of Findel.